Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing this morning? Happy Friday to you. I hope this is finding you well. I'm going to see if I can pull up ye old live stream here so that I can keep an eye on the chat. See if I can do that at the same time as I speak to you. Let's see what's going on here. And that's not working. But regardless, let's talk about One Bite at a Time. This is my brand new art book. It's upcoming. It's currently being funded on Kickstarter. You can find it at onebiteatatimebook.com. And there are a bunch of people over there who have already signed up for the book. And we're having a great time doing it too, because we did a day one backer game where I gave away a piece of original artwork. Well, I thought I would reward not only the day one backers, but here we are after the first week or so, and I would like to reward the week one backers too. If you recall, I have made a number of comic books in the past, one of which is this one right here. It's called A Hunter's Tale. This is a comics poem by my grandfather. So I illustrated this comic book of his poem that he wrote over 40 years ago. And if you are familiar with this book, you may recognize this original artwork as one of the transition pages in the book. Can I even show this at the same time? Here we go. So this is a little spot illustration in the book, and to reward my week one backers, I wanted to do a little game with them. So I asked them to chime in the comments over on Kickstarter on onebiteatatimebook.com, and a bunch of people signed up. So I wanted to do a little game. I've tossed all of their names into doobity-doo, a random name picker. And I am going to spin this random name picker, and whoever's name shows up is going to be the one who gets this original artwork. That's all you have to do is be a part of the, oh, Stephen Herrick. Hey, Stephen, great to have you aboard. And now I can gift you with some original artwork as well. So, Stephen, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being such an ardent supporter of my work and a great friend too. I can't wait to send this to you, man. And thank you to everybody else who participated in this week's game. And thank you to everybody who has not only supported the project and backed it, but also shared it on social media. I've been seeing a bunch of folks really going out of their way to help little old me bring this dream project to life. You know, this book that I'm talking about, One Bite at a Time, is a big, oversized hardcover art book featuring 20 years of my work in comics, illustration, and design. This is a sample book. It is the one and only book, the one and only sample that exists in the world right now. And the reason I bring this up is because there's something special going on this weekend. I would like to share that with you. Let's talk about this for a second. So, tomorrow, I am going to be showing up at Odd Nod Art Supply in Lansing, Michigan. This is a fantastic local art supply store that is run by Casey Sorrow, and I love Odd Nod with all my heart and soul. And I'm so happy to be there tomorrow, where I am going to share this book, the one and only sample of my oversized hardcover art book that exists in the world right now. This is the sample that my printer sent me that has the actual cloth binding, the actual foil stamped cover, spine, and back image. Has these number of different illustrations and comics and design work from me, everything from watches to neon signs to fancy pancakes and more. And it's got a ton of different printing, formatting specialty items inside, like gatefolds, vellum overlays, die cut reveals, and more. So I want you to come to Odd Nod Art Supply tomorrow, Saturday, November 11th, and take a look at this book and see what you think. I'll be there from 1 to 3 p.m. And in addition to having the book, I'm also going to have the clamshell book box too. So this is an add-on option, and I've recently added it to a tier pledge. You can just get it outright if you like. But these clamshell book boxes are likely only going to be available during this campaign. They're a sort of a high ticket item, but at the same time, my gosh, it's so well constructed, such a prestige item. It will protect your book for many, many years to come. And it looks great while doing it because it's created using the same type of material. It's the brown cloth on the cover, it's the teal cloth on the spine, it's the dual foil stamping, and even the book box itself is wrapped using a paper to match that copper foiling that's used on the cover and will be used on the edges of the pages. We're going to have gilded page edges too. So I am just over the moon about this book, and I want you to put this in your hands tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, November 11th, and from 1 to 3 p.m., we are not only going to have the book, but also custom commemorative donuts. So I've partnered with Groovy Donuts, who is my favorite, not only local donut shop, but donut shop, period. So they make the most delicious donuts, and they have agreed to make these custom commemorative 20th anniversary Elephant Eater donuts. And I am going to share these with you, at least if you are one of the first dozen folks through the door. So you come on through Odd Nod Art Supply tomorrow, you chat with me about this book, get to hold it in your hand, see how gorgeous this thing is. And just for doing that, you get a free donut. So I can't wait to share all of this with you. I can't wait for you to see and hold and touch this book in person. It's really an entire aesthetic experience. I know that I'm biased in this regard because I've been working on this thing, but for the limited folks that I've shared this with, I can tell by their reactions. They're interested too. So I hope that you will come out, check out this book, and hey, have a free donut while you're at it. So we'll have a big party when we're done, and I would love to see you there. So that's a little bit about what I've been up to on this Kickstarter month. This book is being kickstarted on throughout the month of November 2023, and you can find it simply by going to this website right here, onebiteatatimebook.com. That's onebiteatatimebook.com. And since I've last live streamed, this book has fully funded, which means this project is moving forward. This project is definitely being printed. You don't have to worry, oh gosh, he hasn't met his funding goal, I'm not sure if I should pledge or not. Hey, it is happening. And this is the best time for you to jump in on this project because I'm offering it at 17% off cover price. Not only that, but I'm also giving you free US shipping. So instead of $59.95 cover price that it will be when all is said and done, this is going to be $50 out the door in your hands, no questions asked. It just shows up on your doorstep. So I hope that you'll cruise over to this page. This is where that URL will take you, onebiteatatimebook.com. You can cruise through here, take a look at some sample images of the book, as well as interior pages as well. So you can see that everything from my work in comics to illustrations to neon designs are all featured here, and there's a heavy emphasis on process that runs throughout the book. So if I'm doing an illustration, you'll see how this moves from pencils to inks to final colors. Or on my client work, you can see that I offer my clients multiple iterations of a sketch, which they can then choose from, and we'll move forward with multiple iterations on color, which they will then choose from, and then we'll move forward with the final fully realized fabricated design. Now, not only is it restricted to neon design, but I'm also showing you things like my watch designs with Mr. Jones Watches of London, England. So here are a number of process images that were used to make this actual watch. And I'm even taking it into the Wayback Machine with some old grad school projects of mine, like this video game. This is a fully illustrated video game where this little avatar character of me is running around this city environment. You can see he's holding a comic book and wearing some socks and sandals because he is very aware of himself. And he interacts with these different characters around the environment where they will say various mildly disparaging things about the medium of comics, and you can choose to educate or passively agree. So anyway, I'm really over the moon about sharing all this with you. This book is going to be over 250 pages, and as I mentioned, it's going to include a ton of different formatting specialty options, like, for example, this original artwork is going to be printed in the book at a really high resolution scan so that you can see things like the original pencils that I did and then inked over top of that, occasionally multiple stroking the items with ink, and then even down to the page texture is shown. So really high fidelity scan, which is not simply going to be printed on the book and you're done. This print is going to be have some die cut holes into the print itself so that you can see through that original artwork to the final color piece behind it and look at either the before or the after image or before and after at the same time. So there's just a ton of stuff going on in this book, from die cut images to vellum overlays to gatefold pages, and then of course all the specialty stuff that's going on in the cover, from dual foil stamped images on the front, spine, and back, dual cloth bound hardback book with built-in ribbon bookmark, copper gilded page edges, matching head and tail bands. The list goes on and on. It's just the most complex print and production project I've designed in my entire life, and I cannot wait to share it with you because it's moving forward. It is fully funded. This is happening, and you've got just the remainder of this month to hop on at a discounted price. Like I said, 17% off cover price plus free shipping gets this books in your hands. You don't even have to go anywhere. It just shows up at your doorstep. So I hope you'll cruise over to the crowdfunding campaign where you can look through the various reward tiers. For example, let's hop over to those reward tiers and see that if you want, there is a digital option, but boy, howdy, would I ever recommend upgrading to that physical book option with all these specialty formatting, printing techniques that are involved in this book. There's just not going to be another way to experience this in the same way. Yes, I will do everything I can to make that digital version, similar, but ultimately this book is what I'm shooting for. So I'm hoping that people will jump on board this physical book. Once again, 17% off cover price, free US shipping. You just kick back and all of a sudden this beautiful book shows up at your door, no questions asked. But you can also upgrade to a number of different items like the patch, print, and signed book tier. So I've never produced a patch before, but this is my first one, and I am over the moon about how this turned out. These are actually in my hands right now. In fact, I've already ironed it onto my backpack and I've been parading it around for the past couple months, and it's been working out great and it looks great. It's got 100% stitching. You're not seeing any of the cloth through the stitching. It's really high quality stuff. And in addition to that, with this tier, you're also going to receive a raised copper foil commemorative print. Now, this has rounded corners, it's numbered, it's signed, and you can only get it through this Kickstarter campaign at the moment. So I tried to take some macro shots here so you can see this like slightly raised copper foil effect, and take a few videos so that you can see how that plays with the light in some really nice ways. Now, in addition to the print and the patch, you're also going to get a signed book at this tier. And that's just all of that is just another $25 in addition to the book itself. If that's not enough, I've also got a book club tier where I will be hosting an invitation-only book discussion, which is only going to allow the folks who sign up for this particular tier to attend. So you'll get the patch, you'll get the print, you'll get the signed book, and you'll get the invitation to this Zoom book discussion with me, where I will give a presentation on the creation of this book. In addition to opening it up for question and answer period at the end, we'll hold this book discussion after everybody has the book in their hands so that you have a chance to go through it and maybe have some questions for me. And aside from that, we'll just hang out, have a conversation, see how everyone's doing. And I don't want to forget about my retailers. So I've got this retailer slash gift pack tier. So for this one, you can get all of these books for 50% off cover price plus free US shipping. So 150 bucks gets you 5 of these books. And this is not restricted to retailers. In fact, I've not only had retailers pick this up, but also a number of individuals who say, hey, this book looks amazing. I want to gift this to a number of people, and it is open to individuals as well as retailers. So don't think that's restricted to retailers only. It's a retailer pack, it's a gift pack, it's whatever you want it to be. You can sign up for it. And finally, I mentioned this clamshell book box that's available. So I've partnered with my printer, and yes, that there's a ton of specialty items going into this book. But I came up with one more crazy idea, and I said, hey, printer, do you think it's possible to create a book box that is custom fit, custom designed to go with this book? So we work together and we're using the same cloth, the same foil stamping, and even designing the box itself to echo the copper foil stamping on the book and the edges of the pages. So you get this book cloth and everything I mentioned before it on those individual tiers: the book club, the print, the patch, the book, the signature, and the book box for 150 bucks. And as if that wasn't enough, there are a number of different tiers beyond that that you can go take a look at. Some of them have already sold out, like the custom sketch tier, and also the original artwork for the cover is now gone as well. So I would suggest hopping on here before too awfully long, because these things are disappearing. You've also got an add-on menu where you can sort of make some a la carte options for yourself. So if you don't want a singular book and you don't want 5 books, but maybe you want 2 books, you could get that original book tier and then add on a single book and be done with it. Okay, so you can make whatever tier you want out of those add-ons. And I also have a back catalog add-on menu where you can add on additional books that I've created in the past. Okay, finally, I wanted to highlight something that often gets overlooked. Along with this campaign, I am giving a green guarantee that for every backer of this campaign, I am partnering with a reforestation organization called One Tree Planted, where together we are going to plant 1 tree for every single backer of this campaign. So if the book wasn't enough, if all those different tiers weren't enough, if the free donuts this weekend weren't enough, then hopefully that green guarantee will push you over the edge, get you over to the Kickstarter campaign, where you can find it at onebiteatatimebook.com. That'll take you straight to the Kickstarter campaign page, onebiteatatimebook.com, and see if there's something over there that might tickle your fancy. I've been working on this book for, gosh, 5 years at this point, 20 if you count all the collected work that's inside it. And I cannot wait to share this with you and just get this book out in the world, because you know what? It's happening. It's fully funded, and there is no better time to jump on. So head over to onebiteatatimebook.com for your chance to join in, get this book in your hands for the best price you can possibly get, 17% off cover price plus free shipping. I'll see you over there. One bite at a time book.